Hi guys, Ben from My Cycling Coach. Hope you're doing well today. Just finished my training session for this morning and I thought it was important that I shared this with you today, as I woke up this morning and had this 2-hour session planned, bit of aerobic work with some tempo blocks in it, and I just really did not feel motivated to do it. I got out of bed feeling pretty, didn't want to train today, would have rather just got on with work and got on with my day. Even though I did have a rest day yesterday. I was stacked out with work yesterday. I had a full day's rest. Didn't do any training at all. Did a little bit of stretching, foam rolling in the evening, recovery work, but I didn't train at all. So I have had about 48 hours rest since my last training session. So my legs were actually, they felt good on this session today. It was more just the motivation to get up and make that walk into the training room, get on the bike and start the session that I felt sort of really didn't have the motivation to do today. But I got on the bike, did the session, had a 2-hour session, as I say, aerobic with just some tempo blocks in it, and I've got the session done, and I now, I feel great. I feel good. I know that I've got my session in. To be honest with you, I actually feel like I feel like a different person from what I did before I started the session 2 hours ago. So, and I wanted to share this today because I got asked by a client the other day about motivation for sessions, especially when you may have a higher intensity session planned, and you might have this in the evening. You're going through your day, you've got that session, and you're just struggling to motivate yourself because, especially if it is a high intensity nature, you're going to have to maybe put some work in, and it's going to be quite tough. So I've got a couple of things that really help me sort of build up that motivation for any training session really, but certainly the high intensity ones as well. The first thing is just knowing that I'm going through that process of setting myself up for that session. So you might have seen the video that I did the other day on fueling for high intensity workouts or FTP tests. So the first thing to start is, if you have got a tough session coming, is to try and make sure that you fuel correctly for it, because if you've done that, you're going to go into the session and the body's going to be ready to actually perform that high intensity work. So make sure you get your fueling right. I won't go into that now. You can go back and watch that video for fueling, but know you've gone through that process, fueling the body correctly, taking on the right amount of carbohydrates so that you can go in and do that session. The other thing is, prior to the session, is just really, or maybe just as you're going in, is to try and keep yourself calm really. Just keep your breathing going. This is before you even get on the bike as well. Sometimes we can already start breathing heavily before we've even started exercising and start stressing ourselves out a little bit. So really just try to keep your breathing controlled, make sure you're breathing properly. And this then does also lead into the warm-up as well. Make sure that you're breathing, you've got a good rhythm where you're breathing through the warm-up. That's just going to help you keep the oxygen coming in, not get too overwhelmed with that session that you're going to do. And then from a psychological perspective, I guess, the biggest thing that motivates me for all my training sessions, especially when I've got a harder session planned, is knowing how much that session is going to help my riding, or thinking of my goal, long-term goal that I've got. For you, this might be an event, it might be a ride you're trying to do it might be a specific fitness or level of power you're trying to get to. It might be you're trying to lose some weight. But knowing that the session that you're going to do is going to hugely contribute to it, even if it is one session, that session is going to really contribute to your, a little step towards your goal and achieving that goal. That's a big motivation for me. When you're mid-effort and you're absolutely, VO2 max or something like that, and you're going all out, turning yourself inside out, just try to think that the work you're putting in there is really contributing to your long-term goal. And I guess the other thing is knowing that when you do get off the bike, like I said this morning, that you are going to feel a real good sense of achievement from just getting that session in, even if you started out and you didn't feel like you wanted to do it. Getting off the bike now, done my session, set up for the day, feeling good. And the contribution that it just generally has to your all-round health and fitness as well. We can get stuck up with these goals and saying, we want to get this amount of FTP or power, and we want to go and ride this distance or enter into this event. But just remember that what this training is actually doing for your all-round health and fitness as well is really good and really beneficial. So just knowing that you're going to do in that session, whether it's low intensity, medium intensity or high intensity, is going to really contribute to your health. You're keeping yourself fit and healthy, doing some exercise, and yeah. So just thought I'd share that with you today, guys. As I say, I woke up this morning, didn't want to do my session. Someone did ask me about the other day, what motivates me? And there's some of the things that motivate me and help get me through. Just knowing that I'm fueling right for my session, trying to control my breathing before I even get on the bike. When I'm mid-session, just knowing that what I'm doing and the work that I'm doing on the bike is actually making a massive contribution, even though it is one session, to that overall goal. And just knowing that, you're keeping yourself really fit and healthy, which at this time of year when you may be eating a little bit more and Christmas is coming, it's helping keep the weight under control a little bit and keep your fitness up. So cheers guys, hope you found that useful. If you did, please pop a like on the post. Feel free to follow, share, subscribe, and any comments, as always, would love to hear from you. Have a great rest of your day, enjoy your riding, and speak soon.